Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now. Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 12. Let's get right into this.
But a friend to you.
Yeah.
Now, I never came after your marriage when I heard that you met up with a rapper. But I didn't see it. Hold on. I didn't see it. I also could have said you're a married man.
We start this episode with Gizelle, and this woman is at a fabric store. Ashley met her there. Of course, they are starting their athleisure line. It's called GNA, which, listen, as crazy as that is, I support anyone starting a business, even if, never mind. But they also invite Mia and Robyn. They talk about if they sweat in their private areas when they're working out. So they all say yes. So Gizelle and Ashley are considering adding some fabric to that part. Then they ask Ashley about Surry County because she was the one that went. Me and Robyn are saying that it was ridiculous for Karen to send them a new text inviting the group 12 hours before the trip. Ashley says, well, Karen was so mad at you, Mia, for the way you responded. They also discussed the event that Eddie is going to have for his weed line. Turns out that Wendy did actually invite Nneka, which I appreciate that from Wendy. That's really mature. And I'm surprised that Gizelle's open to go. Although, Eddie invited the guys on his end, but he did not invite Iyke. So, speaking of Nneka, she is the next scene. She is in her house, and y'all, guess who we finally see? The one, the only, the one who's been in the center of the drama, Lebe. I'm glad we finally saw her because we've talked so much about her. There's also another friend of Nneka's there, so they're at her house, and I'm glad that we're seeing, for example, we saw Nneka's sister last time. We're seeing her friends now. It helps to get to know her better. So Nneka talks about the house and how they still have some stuff to do, but it's, almost finished. She then tells them about Wendy inviting her to her event. Nneka sort of sees this as an olive branch, maybe, and she tells Lebe and her friend that, look, what happened, it really did, but I can either try and move on or just sit back and be mad. So she's gonna go to the event and she wants to fix things with Wendy. Although Lebe does warn her, remember, that's her territory, and they sort of just joke around, text us if you need us to come pick you up. I will say, granted, it was only about a minute or two, Lebe looks messy. So, yeah. But, that was that, and also Nneka mentioned that she was going to have an unboxing party later, and she might invite Wendy. We then see Candiace and Chris. She's going over a script. She's currently doing some acting projects, so that's super exciting. So she's going to have to shoot some scenes. So Candiace will be able to go to Wendy's event for just a little bit, but we'll have to go film those scenes that she's practicing right now. She does tell Chris to get some marijuana for her before he leaves, but Candiace also tells him to remember that this is going to be the first time that he's seeing Ashley and Gizelle, or as she calls them, forehead and neck. Chris thinks that they're going to be okay. He doesn't really care. Okay, so then we see the event. Eddie and Wendy make their way. They meet with his business partners because I thought he owned this alone, but no, he has two other partners. I do like the names of the strands that the way that he called those. Also, in this event, they won't be actually rolling any weed. So there's no weed here. They're going to be using some oregano and some spices. So Candiace and Chris arrive, but Candiace literally just came in to say hi, because she really did have to go. But luckily for her, she did end up getting a gift bag and a box. And then Chris does stay. Then Mia and Gordon arrive. Everything is cool, nice. Ashley gets there, and it's a little awkward. But Ashley says that she has no intention to ever in her life even look at Chris again, much less talk to him. But then, you guys, the Grand Dame arrives with Matt. I hope she didn't bring Matt over here to try to steal some ideas. But Miss Karen Huger, she doesn't even wait. She goes straight to Mia. No hug, it's a handshake. And she says to Mia, I didn't understand your response to my message. And Mia says, what response? Me saying that I don't do second string invites? And Karen says, well, you're not even second string. You were the backup. So they go off. Karen says, this wasn't about you. It was about something much greater that was happening in my life. And Mia says, well, you can't be upset at me for, responding to you being disrespectful, inviting some, not the others, then inviting everyone and expecting me to drop everything to go to Surry County. And Karen says, well, it's better than your boring ass life. Oh my gosh, it was on. Karen says, I thought that after the hug we had before, you and I were going to be okay. Then Mia interrupts her and says, I'm going to need you to go and find some new tricks. And Karen says, well, you are the trick. Oh, I was dying, y'all. I was dying for real. Nneka arrives. She does thank Wendy for the invite. Gizelle comes, and y'all, how the hell Gizelle going to Wendy's event and completely ignores Wendy? No hi, no hello. So rude, Gizelle. But I guess that these two will never speak to one another again. They then sit down, everybody sits down, and Wendy and Eddie get a little speech, and OMG, the shade. First of all, Gizelle wasn't even paying attention to what they were saying. She was fixing her hair, looking at her phone. Mia is throwing some shade, talking about she's never seen an attorney who's always free and is now selling weed. But then they start to roll the blunts with oregano again, as I said, and they start to have a good time. Like, they're laughing, they're joking, and then Wendy says to everyone, you know what, everyone, thank y'all for coming, because I don't remember us having so much fun and laughing as much as we are today. Then Gizelle the gremlin saying, I didn't laugh, although she clearly did. Gordon then leaves. Mia did make some comment it made it sound like things are bad. Then as the people are leaving because the event was over, Nneka says, Wendy, can I borrow you for a second? Nneka says, she's so thankful that Wendy invited her. And she says, I would love for us to have a one-on-one where we can talk about everything. Wendy was clearly not excited. She says, well, you haven't apologized for calling me a B. And Nneka says, I know, that's why I want us to talk, so we can talk about everything. Wendy says that she's like, I receive it, but she thinks it's weird. And let me say, when you compare Nneka to Gizelle, at least Nneka is going out of her way to try and fix things with Wendy. She's kind of like, going down her throne. So for Wendy to be so closed off is crazy. Why even invite her to this event, Wendy? I can guarantee you guys this. Had Gizelle been the one who asked Wendy for a one-on-one, Wendy would have jumped off excitement for that. The next scene is Mia and Gordon. They're going out, and this is their second date since therapy, and at first it sounded good. It looked like things were okay. This is a day date because they don't have a nanny, so they can't really go at night. Mia says that they should continue to go to therapy, but once they start to talk about the business, it kind of goes south. Mia is essentially saying that Gordon didn't take accountability back when they had the business. In other words, she blames him for the brothers kicking them out. Mia brings up how she almost divorced him because of how hostile their situation was. Now, they were not physically abusive, he does clarify that, but it was emotionally draining. Then Mia tells Gordon that, recently Ashley just told her that Michael had back surgery and Ashley was over there helping him. And Mia thinks that's interesting. She's like, I would never do that to my ex. And Gordon says he never even thought that Ashley was going to divorce Michael. He says, why even give up the sugar daddy? OMG. But then Gordon asks, had we gotten divorced, how do you think that would have looked like? And Mia says, I would have gotten a settlement. And Gordon says, nuh-uh, absolutely not. He says that they would have just come to some sort of agreement that was beneficial. So it kind of sounded like he was inferring, you can sleep with other men, just don't divorce me legally. But it was a very awkward scene, and I think this is the beginning of the end of their relationship. It's pretty clear. Then it is time for Nneka's event. We see her and her sister. She's getting everything ready, and wow, like I said, Nneka is truly making an effort to make up with Wendy. Her sister says that she's excited. If Wendy comes, she's gonna be greeted with open arms. Also, Nneka is starting a sparkling champagne or something like that, some line, so she has some samples for the women, so that's good for her. So Nneka then receives Gizelle, Mia, Charrisse, Karen, Robyn, Ashley, Candiace. Everybody was there, and so was Kiana, this lady who is Wendy's friend, who was also, I forgot to mention, she was at the weed event also. So they asked Kriana if Wendy was gonna make it, and Kriana says, I think it's gonna be a no. So Wendy, the professor, the doctor of philosophy, didn't have the common sense, the courtesy, or the manners to tell the host that she wasn't going. Wow. This is just, this is going to get her ass kicked out the show, honestly. but she really wasn't even missed, so whatever. Nneka, oh my gosh, bless her heart. She had the women unpack boxes. What the hell was that about? But you guys, major tension between Karen and Mia. They are still mad at each other, and Mia is mad. She really is that Karen called her a trick. And she says, well, you know what? Takes a trick to know a trick. And Karen says, y'all have brought rumors up about me for 8 years. Karen, on the other hand, has heard things and she's never brought them up. For example, she says, I could have brought up that Mia was going out with a rapper or that she was screwing a married man. Ooh. So Mia denies screwing the rapper, but she does say that she has been hanging out with this rapper, with Gordon as well. But if y'all paid attention to Mia's facial expression when Karen said this, it kind of sounded like she was caught. It was hilarious. Then Nneka takes them to the living room to play a game. The game is like take a piece of paper and then write never have I ever, but what you're essentially doing is that you're writing down something that you think someone else has done, so you kind of want them to confess. So one of them, for example, said, never have I ever paid for some D, and that was meant for Charrisse, and Charrisse says, hell no. Then one says, never have I ever taken a picture of my friend with her sons and her parents. That was obviously coming from Robyn, dedicated to Karen. It was weird. But Karen says, oh, well, maybe I did, I don't know, but it's really not that big of a deal. She did mention that she might have folders on people. I love it because I totally think Karen has folders of people's pictures. Then they gather around and they cheer for Nneka. It was amazing. It was an amazing moment. All of them coming together and really, being part of her new home that she's now going to move into and hopefully start her family. Which is why I think it was so unfortunate that Wendy didn't go. And let me say this too. Everybody has the right to their own opinion, so please let me know your opinion in the comments section. I will say, I'm not going to feel bad about not liking Wendy. I loved Wendy last season, and if you go back to my videos, which are still up, I championed her. I thought it was so egregious what they did to her when they threw the drink, when they were everything. Y'all can, like I said, go back to my videos, but my eyes were open this season, and Wendy she's not a nice person. I'm sorry to say that, but she's not. But if y'all disagree, let me know. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, tell me what you think about Mia, Gordon, and then Mia and Karen. Y'all, I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.